and welcome to the NXT review. We are the Dadley Boyz of WhatCulture. I'm Adam Wilborn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to review everything that happened on last night's episode of NXT. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review the show formerly known as NXT 2.0, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup that we complete with a quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, though, joined by Hamlet and Sidgwick to review last night's NXT and the go-home show ahead of NXT Heat Wave. I like it warm. Don't like it this warm.
Good matches, good promos, good skits and bits. This show had none of them. This was a nothing happening episode of NXT. There's one thing that I'm looking forward to diving into, and I'm almost waiting to be surprised by your recap, like bringing something back to life from what I saw last night, because Jesus Christ, like, look, I know that we're all good to go for Heatwave, and there's not really anything left to do. It's as hot as it's going to get, yeah? Yeah, that's just good promotion. It's booking 101. This was booking 000. What the hell was this? Like, I had a dream. I hate people talking about dreams. A couple of weeks ago, I had a dream, and it didn't come to light in the end, but I think about this job all the time, even in my subconscious, where I'd woke up.
That was the Fed, innit?
Yeah, I'd woke up. And
all the Fed.
Yeah. So I woke up in the dream, I was eating crisps, and I checked the ratings. And,
wait, in the dream or in real life?
Both. Like, if you go to sleep eating crisps, you eat crisps in your dream. That's the rule. Like, always have them by your bed, just in case.
Yeah, smart.
Middle of the night crisps. No, and it was, I just had this, whoa, need to text the guys straight away. NXT's done 3.5 million in the viewership.
Jesus Christ.
Obviously, we were talking a lot of work at the time about whatever week it was, and it's gone a bit crazy. Like, oh, my dreams are coming true. And like, that came back to me watching this one. That's not going to happen, but it's like, oh, like the sevens and the trending towards an 800,000 viewers and maybe a half decent demo and that. It's just all gone straight away. It is all
bad
gone.
rating last week, and then let's not try it this week.
The fall off needs to be studied. Like, this was. It was. I'm sorry.
This was, I was watching this, there were various moments where I'm like, oh God, he can't defend it. Trying to do his terrible bit, that's winding me up, and he knows it, so he does it more. This was actively atrocious in a way that had no perverse, redeemable value. I almost enjoyed it. And I really, like, it gets this, what really is so bad it's good? How bad does it have to get before it becomes this fascinating train wreck? And it's like, it just goes around and around and around this loop of real bad. I mean, this is so amateurish that you can get some Schadenfreude out of it. No, this is too bad, God damn it. I really want to die when I'm watching this. Actually, no, it's really crap. Did I love this?
There you go. I had quite a good time watching the show.
You did.
There's lots of stuff to like still in there. We'll get into it.
You're just glad to be getting through this cycle, maybe.
Yeah, I'll admit, like, there was no family on it, so obviously it was never going to be like an 8 or a 9 out of 10, but it's a good 6 or 7 for me.
No. I mean, for you, I can't dispute that.
Exactly, yeah.
I can't dispute that.
You probably will be able to as I lay out what happened on this show.
Yeah, handily, easily.
Let's get into it, because the show opened with a street fight. It was Meechin versus Jada Parker.
Get off me.
Jada,
there's poo in there.
Jada charges straight at her. Meechin send her into the ring steps. She got a chain, swung that, but only hit the steps.
Oh God, the noise it made against the ring steps. Imagine if that had hit her. God, wrestling's crap, isn't it?
Meechin gets everything from underneath the ring, chucks it in the ring.
Triple H's massive chain against Batista. Whacking the table.
Yeah. But she's taken too long to get back inside, and Parker just hits her with a trash can lid. Hits her with a Samoan drop, gets a 2 count, but Meechin comes back with a German suplex. Then Meechin whips her with a belt. Jada comes back with a teardrop off the second, well, as Meechin's draped along the second rope into a trash can for 2. They go outside. Meechin hits her with a chair to the ribs. Post Parker, sets up some chairs on the floor, sets them up on the chairs, goes for a big dive, and just eats the chair.
How's she got any teeth?
And
How's she got any teeth?
So I was like, right.
What do they expect to happen with this?
Have you moved? Yeah, I've moved, yeah. 2 hours later. Right, I'll go for the dive then. Jesus Christ, mate. Have a bit of self-respect.
Shall I get it?
She's already gone home. Getting that gear on, getting in the car, driving out the car.
The only way this is better is if Jada, avoiding the dive, just puts herself through the guardrail like she did immediately afterwards.
Either they took their lumps in this one.
At
what course?
That took us to a break. We come back.
Took us to a break. Get an earfall out of it, you stupid. What are you doing here?
There's a claw hammer being used at this
It's like, what
point.
a stupid asshole. I'm sorry. Like, Jesus Christ. If you're going to do NXT rolls on, if NXT must roll on.
And it must.
And it must. Like, maybe just do some kind of that. If you're going to do the biggest cliche in the world, right? This is all, and it's all anyone's going to remember about this match. So I have to talk about it now. God damn it. If you're going to do that, right? It's all, if you're going to do the ultimate cliche and just make your match feel completely homogenized within everything else and not stand out, almost a laughing stock to anyone who's vaguely discerning watching it, right? At least just do, all right, I'll catch you. Don't impale your teeth into your gums, potentially. Dumbest. It was hilarious.
As NXT rolls on.
I've got flashbacks to, I can't remember what show it was, the Claudio one, where you're like, oh, he snapped the front of his teeth off. No, he hasn't. He's just pushed them up into his gums.
The bar against Ambrose and Rollins, wasn't it?
Anyway.
Good run, that.
Come
I
back.
like the Ambrose and Rollins team.
It's half decent.
Yeah, before they got Shield back together, just. Good stuff, that.
You missed Dean Ambrose, don't you?
I'm starting
Imagine saying that.
I'm really starting to miss Dean Ambrose. Starting to put a lot of scenarios back together where he could get back over here, because it looks pretty f***ing bored over there.
And we all thought it for a split second at WrestleMania 40, didn't we? What the hell's that mean? So yes, Parker is fish hooking Meechin with a claw hammer when we come back. And Meechin fights back, sets up some chairs, and then gets some like nuts and bolts or something onto the chairs, and then just goes to the package pile driver, gets backdropped onto it. Jada Parker then got stuffed into a trash can, and Meechin did a cannonball senton into the corner. Meechin went to grab. They said it was a steel pipe. It was the weirdest looking, like longest, biggest. And that allows Parker to grab the fire extinguisher and spray with that. Parker hit a hip attack, and they crashed through that gimmicked wall that they always have.
There's the one guy, you know, say the Florida shop owners.
Yeah.
There's like the Florida paper wall builder. He's like, well, that's rebuilt. I'm bloody sick of this. For 5 seconds.
We should notice it as well. It's a bit like on like computer games, you know, when there's like what's in this wall? And there's just one brick that's a completely different colour. That brick there. And that wall's back together. You're like, someone's going through that in the next few weeks.
Press triangle near right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, go through the wall, which was, I suppose, technically lucky for someone else who appeared from inside there later on. Mm-hmm. Jada Parker drags Meechin back into the ring, hits the hypnotic, another hip attack. 1, 2, 3.
Lousy and worse for the effort they were putting in. That feeling, we've talked about this before, where wrestlers are trying to wrestle their way into the match being over, and you can feel it, and it's like they're not desperate, but there's a desperation to the work where, for whatever reason, the crowd aren't biting, the story isn't connecting, whatever, and it's, man, they're going to keep fighting for this, and it's just never, ever going to happen for them. Not on this night. Nothing they could do. This was that with a bunch of weapons, some things that look like they legitimately hurt, but not for the reasons you want them to look like they legitimately hurt. All wrong. No real chemistry. A very sympathetic audience that still didn't give them a great deal for some of the stuff they were doing. Like an all-around nightmare, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah. I mean, it was every plunder brawl you've ever seen in your life. Saw the kendo stick come out. I'm like, oh, God, what am I doing with my life here? What am I doing? I could be getting some shut-eye. Instead of watching this drivel and then that goddamn spot, I was like, this is awesome. What are you doing? I've got an idea. It's one of those things where genuinely thanks because for doing that. It made me feel something. So thank you. 2, it's like it's one of those things where it misses almost as painfully as she did literally on a figurative like level, because like you're trying to get over. I get it, right? NXT rules on. How can like you maximize your minutes? All right, okay. Well, instead of doing like just a normal suicide dive, I'll risk my entire teeth. Or my teeth getting cracked out my skull. What do you think about that?
What do you think?
I think it's dumb and you either way. But thanks.
They'll have to come back now.
It was so... I was like, what were you thinking? There's no way on earth that couldn't have absolutely sucked. But I am a bit of a ghoul. I quite enjoyed it. I can't remember the finish. Remember that.
It was the hip attack.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't give him. I don't care.
Hypnotic is, I think, the name.
Why does... I hate wrestling. Why is there a rule that it has to be some kind of pun? It doesn't. And I know not every wrestler adheres to it, but more often than not, they do.
It's because it's cool. Pun's
It's
cool.
not cool, though, is it?
Yeah.
Like, you know what's cool? Like Death Rider. That was cool.
So if I asked you, finishers being named like as puns, how would you respond if you were, I don't know, Tony Storm or someone like that?
What?
Is it cool or not?
Ah, right, okay. It's not cool. It's just not cool. What would your finisher be then? The Force of Willborn.
Ginger Snap?
Well, what would it be? Roll the dice.
Oh, it's in the
No, I just want the pun. I just want the pun.
Okay. Yeah, I like Force of Willborn. I'll think on it.
Yeah, it's not good enough, is it?
No.
Mine would be a very, very, very dry leg grapevine called a ham sandwich. See how many levels that works on?
Yeah.
Ones are good.
I don't know, the Sidge kick. That's the level I'm working on. I'll just stoop to it, thank you.
I don't think the full name, Michael Sidgekick, I think is like...
Yeah.
The Sidge kick, yeah. Calls that I was talking to Michael the other day, and he calls that the Sidge kick. Second commentary as well.
like you're training with it backstage. I'm like, that's really good. I know it's the Sidge kick.
The Sidge kick. You know what I would do though? Genuinely, I would like make it look like, and a wrestler should do this. Like, you know, when you see a footballer just essentially drop kick someone's ankles, like the horror challenge. I would do that as a wrestling move. That would be my thing.
Yes.
Like the horror challenge.
Yeah.
The horror challenge. And like a wrestler could just like bump and like as soon as they come a little bit closer to connect, like just fall over. The horror challenge.
Like the athletic ones have got to like jump and avoid the Sidge kick.
Yeah.
You're going sliding in all the time.
That's the Sidge kick, the horror challenge.
You could do an Omega Ricardo match like that where the trick is to avoid it.
Yeah.
There's always got to be a way to avoid the Sidge kick. You've been working the legs, they can't jump anymore, or like knackering them out. That's brilliant.
Can you imagine like a drop kick? That's hurt me bloody hard. But like your ankles getting broken, fractured. Not good, that. Wouldn't be nice to feel.
Jimmy versus Jay, just endless Sidge kicks.
Yeah.
Got no legs.
Just sliding.
Yeah.
Bang. Business picked up on NXT next, though, because we go backstage.
Whole show sucked.
No, this was class. Carmen Petrovic is there. And Ariana Grace. Right, it's going like this. Oh.
That's good.
Gets nothing from Carmen Petrovic. Basically goes, I said, oh. Carmen Petrovic goes, what's wrong? She goes, don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Carmen goes, okay. She goes, all right, yeah. I got my soul snatched out of me from Sol Ruka last week. And she took my heart. Oh, just made myself sad again. And now she's not going to wave. And she's from Toronto. Her people are waiting for her. Carmen says, I get it, I'm from Toronto too. She says, you're not as Canadian as I am. And then in walks Jasmine Nix and JC Jane. They bully both of them.
Whoa. Because she's dashing now.
Of course, yeah. And Carmen says, you've got a problem, let's have a bare knuckle fight then. And they just leave.
I like the law of Ariana Grace tries to find ways not to wrestle and then creating reasons for her to have to. Now, hometown. Like that's
Odd couple tag team, hello.
Hi.
Love it.
You have my attention.
I feel nothing. What was next?
Well, they sort of peppered throughout this show vignettes for each person who's in the Fatal 4-Way. So here was Javon Evans.
That's good. This because just fast forward.
He's excited for his first premium live event.
Shame you couldn't for the actual segment itself at the end.
Oh God!
Jesus Christ! He killed them all. Cool.
We get
every single one of them dead to me now.
We get a recap of NXT Battleground. Carlee Jordan won the Women's North American Championship. She runs through her gymnastics accolades. Now she's the first ever Women's North American Champion. Pressure comes with being the champion, especially being the first, but no one defend the title like Lani. And then we got New Catch Republic, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne versus Hank and Tank. Thoughts on their matching gear?
I just like that they keep making this stuff. Like they care a lot about this, and none of them ever really stick. So it's just every week now you get to look forward to a new one. Either the gear or when they get that one backstage segment. Right, we're going to knock up t-shirts straight away.
Yeah.
I admire that because one day something will.
Yeah. It was a nice match. He had Bate getting Hank up on his shoulders for a big airplane spin around like 11 times. Michinoku driver. That took us to a break. When we come back, Hank getting the hot tag is always fun. He comes in, he cleans house. Tyler Bate gets the hot tag after that. He runs wild. Hank and Tank catch him on an attempted flip dive and powerbomb him on top of Pete Dunne. And then they bounce off the ropes and do sort of body checks to knock them both off the apron. Hank comes off the top rope. Dunne just nails him in the head, though. Snaps the fingers of Tank, jumps outside to stomp on the back of Hank. And Tyler Bate hits the spiral tap. There you go. There's another one for you. On Tank to get the 1, 2, 3.
I feel no pleasure in saying this, right? But I feel as though with Bate and Dunne at this point, I'm watching the Rock and Roll Express and the Attitude Era. And like, not because Tyler Bate looks a bit like Ricky
as
Morton
old as Ricky
2024.
Morton.
Like, they came back in 1998 and they, this is like less than a decade removed from their prime, but wrestling had moved so fast and they were positioned as part of a like fossil stable at Jim Cornette that they were like almost aged up just by existing pretty much around all these other wrestlers. I kind of feel like that with Bate and Dunne. Like the work of the Rock and Roll Express in 98 was still fine. It was still absolutely fine. By today's standards, they'd be about the age of the WWE upper mid card.
Mechanically, we're talking. Mechanically, no one gave a toss, sadly.
No, sorry, yeah.
Just a different time.
Yeah.
Too earnest.
And this feels like it's
I
happening
remember
now.
they looked like they were about 60-year-old.
Yeah, they were probably like early 40s, I think they were.
Yeah.
That was just how it felt, This is happening with Bate and Dunne. The mechanical, there's nothing to criticise about the mechanics whatsoever. Occasionally, it still looks pretty good. It still gives you a bit of a feeling. Like the stuff they were doing with Gallus wasn't so bad. I just feel a bit sad for them. I'm watching them and thinking, you aged out of this brand, and yet there was kind of nothing for you anywhere else. So back you come. And there's all these younger wrestlers. Like, you're talking about two men in their 20s, and yet all the other wrestlers around them feel younger because they feel
20s,
feel more current. They feel more current than these two who have lived 10 different lives. And it's just, I'm finding it really hard to connect with them back in this. I thought they would come back for an odd week. They live here again, it appears.
How are they living here again?
Because Pete Dunne wants to
Sleeping in the spare room again, are you? Yeah, I thought, I thought it was only for the weekend.
They didn't get over on the main roster,
They did not really.
They'll always have the WrestleMania entry. Oh, no, they didn't get that. Sorry, they all messed up.
No, I think Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne walk into the Performance Centre and they say, "How do you do, fellow kids?"
And what could you hear when they say that?
Red piss on can. You start these matches and you think, Tyler Bate, a nice little shine. It's roughly red. It's like, hey, you look like you're really outwitting your opponent with that, deceptive work. And I'm like, that's quite amusing to me. And it goes on. And this is basically a much better worked match than the usual NXT match, all of which have the exact same tempo. Like, the exact same tempo. Like, I'm not expecting, well, maybe I am actually, considering there's a lot of experience. There's a mixture of experienced talents and very raw rookie talents, and all of them work the same tempo of match. You'll never see anything like a Bryan Danielson style tempo match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all the same pace. It's all so homogenized and identikit.
Pete Dunne felt like he was on holiday in a different kind of exciting, and I don't taking a great pleasure bringing this guy's name up, but in the Broserweights, he sort of unlocked something.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like having a partner and having an odd couple dynamic. It was in the matches themselves. He was like, there's a different gear that these things my moves can be worked on. I'm going to do that. And he never really does it with Tyler Bate as his partner. They kind of slow each other down in different ways because they know what works for them and what had previously worked during the Peaky Blinders boom and all that sort of stuff. And it's just, it all feels really dated and played out. And as you say, to that tempo, even worse.
It makes me feel as old as they look
Yeah.
at the minute. Like, Jesus Christ.
I'd rather Bate was back doing yoga and Pete Dunne had somebody have to play his serious side off. He works with a very WWE comedy wrestler. These two.
Yeah.
Like Pete Dunne and R-Truth.
This one teaming with that one.
Exactly.
Love Hank and Tank, though. Cranking my tank. Love it. I've completely forgot, by the way, they mentioned it on commentary, and I was like, oh, yeah, that Hank was a security guard. to
Yeah,
start with.
Hank
I
Walker.
forgot about all that.
This is long.
Love those first couple of matches where he looked like he was learning to wrestle. There's some real thought in there.
Yeah.
Just like swinging his arms around for his punches. It was good stuff.
Then we get the Shawn Spears vignette ahead of the four-way, of course. And then Aura Mensa is
Something so sinister about the character of Shawn Spears. The man who treats crime and illegal activity with a smile, almost like it's a joke.
Life isn't a game unless it's a mind game.
That joke, I'll be.
He is. We've said that wrestling's not many lately. He's the first one in a while.
So sinister about the character of Shawn Spears.
Aura Mensa is backstage.
Just has to do everything in tens. You can't let go of it.
He's there with...
There's 10 bodies laid out outside his bank.
God, he is the epitome of the guy you see on the community theatre stage and think he thinks he's absolutely it. You're 50.
Who will buy my grapes? Good for wine and eat.
Mechanic.
He is a mechanic. We got him.
So yeah, Aura Mensa's there. There's Stevie Turner.
Do you reckon he's ever thought to himself, I know how to get on telly. Get this prop skull. And talk to it like that. No one's ever done that.
Brandy.
Yeah.
Swishing brandy around.
Well, skull.
I'll be back in 10. It's all gimmick, but sinister. Tennister.
That doesn't sound very tenable to me.
Let me break the tension.
You're flirting with the dark side and maybe a little bit tentative.
I told you punks were going. Ty Dillinger, the heel. No, number 10, but bad stuff.
What if the number 10 was evil?
That's his thing.
Something so sinister about the character of Shawn Spears.
What do you think about the number 10? When you think about that number now, how does it make you feel? Do you give you a certain...
Number 10 gives me the creeps.
Some would say the number of the devil is actually 10, 10, 10.
Was that their her? Was 10, 10, 10 their her?
Yeah, it was.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to say. We'll all pose with this sign, right, guys?
I'm a bad guy now. 10, 10, 10. That's like 4 more devils each time. I made it to the top of my profession. That's what the song says.
Somehow.
Peroxide 10.
Backstage. Aura Mensa's backstage with, I need help with this actually. It was Stevie Turner and the guy, I recognised his face, but I couldn't think of his name for the life of me.
Robert Stone.
They're trying to outdo each other basically, and Stone says we've got good news and bad news. Good news is you're back in action tonight against Miles Bourne, and then goes, Stevie, give him the bad news. I'm not giving him bad news. They go back and forth, and she says, okay, he ain't got the balls. I'll say because of your issues with Ethan Page, she's British.
Join the family,
Yeah.
Come on, she's British. Well, that works.
Because of his stuff with Ethan Page, he's not allowed to go to Heat Wave. And Nora's like, that's fine. At least I got a match tonight. And Stevie and
Robert Stone.
bicker and
Robert Stone
says,
I don't
I am so telling Ava about this. And then she calls him a narc.
No. What is it with all of this? Oh, we can't go to Heatwave. These people committed crimes that I don't know about.
Is it Canada, isn't it? Yeah.
Like,
good point.
Yeah. I didn't think of that. Crossing the border.
Ariana Grace is a secret thief.
Ariana, I think she's on the kickoff.
Oh, no, she is going. Well, it was just a weird theme.
There's one.
I think it was like either that or... There's another one, isn't there?
There's one later on, but I have a theory. What is going on?
I don't want to know.
I never know. I don't want to know.
So it's either that or like a weird, like, very optimistic and pointless PR exercise where it's like, guys, all the stars aren't coming. I'm sorry. Just some of the stars, not all of them.
I quite like on this episode where we had the continuing bickering of the assistants when there was an actual...
It's a crap act, isn't it?
Yeah, when there was an actual big decision to be made about a big storyline development, it was like, Ava, out of the way, you. Like, Shawn Michaels was back, so it's like, you want to be the assistant for one that doesn't even do the real work.
So basically, Christopher Daniels
Yeah,
in
two of them.
AEW's is as bad as NXT.
Yeah.
Get rid of this authority.
Or the other way around. Like, I would say that. I would say in this case, NXT is as bad.
Badness
as the
echoes
Christopher Daniels.
badness. Brinley, Reece versus Izzy Dame next. Our boys Malik Blade and Idris Sanofe were out there. Izzy Dame, big swinging side effect to take over early on. Reece fought back, flipping clothesline. They go to the outside. As I mentioned, that wall's got smashed through earlier, which is lucky because out comes Tatum Bexley.
Was she in there the whole time and just wouldn't have been able to escape?
Is that her house?
Of course, yes.
That's where she lives.
Oh, do you know why? Because it's the eagle's nest, isn't it? And she was obsessed with bird person. So that makes sense.
No, doesn't
Crack the case.
We have cracked the case.
Bad comedy.
Anyway, Tatum Paxley being weird allows Brinley Reece to get a roll up for 2. But Dame hit with the Falcon Arrow, 1, 2, 3. Post match as Izzy Dame celebrating. Here comes Tatum Paxley again and gives her the creeps. So Izzy Dame gets out there.
So it's funny that they sent this character to TNA, isn't it? Thanks for your world champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Tatum Paxley. Where's Shawn Michaels? He's not. Shawn's not coming.
Sean's not coming.
Anything you want to say about this?
Not a thing. It was just very
ass stuff. This
level ass.
level ass NXT developmental level ass.
And I either blinked and missed this one.
It was short, yeah.
When I got on my phone, right, I went, can't be much.
I'll take him back to his ass.
I was like, can't rewind it because if I did that, I would be able to watch the more important stuff later because you know, the kids will wake up and stuff. And I have to get on with the morning obligations.
Did a 3, 4, 5, 6 on Quirtle yesterday. He's very happy with that.
Quirtle's good, isn't it?
Yeah, Quirtle is. You play Quirtle?
No, my wife does, and that even more extended psychotic.
False
version of it.
enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I know he's plays. Is it Octurdle or
Sedicurdle?
is there a 10 one? Oh my god, that's pretty scary actually to take that one.
It's too many.
Is that right? I think that's right.
Yeah,
Or I might have just
8 lines of them or something. Oh, it's too much. Not me. More of a royal match guy.
Oh, that one with the big guys and the.
Yeah, just swiping colours, making 3. What's going to happen? What colour's going to drop down now?
Do you practice Quirtles though?
It's you see,
You could do it. If you wanted to spend your entire day doing Quirtles, you could do that.
it's either that or royal
So I
match.
spent my entire lunchtime doing Quirtles.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
That's nice. It's a nice thing to think about. Like on the commute, it's always royal match or the end of the wrestling show we've got to watch in the morning. That's why I can't rewind it on Thursdays. Like sometimes it's worth going back. Wait a minute. How's Wilborn going to pronounce that?
Right, time to head to JU. They're all very excitable, obviously. Andre Chase says WWE has history in Toronto, and they're going to become motherfucking 2-time NXT Tag Team Champions. Still a popper.
I'm with them for this weekend, you know.
I've got a theory.
I'm invested.
So Duke's chatting to Ridge. It's very much like flashbacks to school. Do you want to share with the rest of the class? And he says, well, yeah, actually, I do, because we didn't win clean. What are we talking about? You pinned Carl Anderson, I think it was. And he goes, well, I've got the proof here. And they pull out the photos. And yes, as we talked about, Ridge Bloody Holland is helping them get the successful pinfall. And Andre Chase is like, you cheated! Thea's like, how could you? You know, his daughter, which reminds me of his daughter, is looking at her. How could you? And Riley
Can't
says,
make it clear enough. I do not want to look like my daughter.
says-
Have we said that yet?
Riley says, bloody knew it. And Ridge says, oh, I know, but I know I shouldn't have done it, but like when you gave me this T-shirt, I realised I didn't want to be part of a group. I wanted to be part of a family. And I've got it here.
Other stable, mate. I'm over there.
I know you're going to a school within a school when you've already meant to have graduated from school, Ridge, but you are thick as mince, pal.
He just wants to help.
Just,
And Chase says, hey, look, we all make mistakes, but unfortunately...
we're a family. It's been a month or whatever it's been.
I thought we were at school.
At school.
But he's going to have to ask...
Boy, we're a comp.
He's going to have to ask Ridge to stay behind for Heatwave.
I'm staying behind when he's 62, him.
Dismisses the rest of the class. Ridge gets
For
it.
recess. Recess.
You believe that?
No.
What happens, what are you saying?
You believe he's not going to be making an appearance at NXT Heatwave?
I've seen wrestling before,
He's rocking up.
unfortunately.
But in cahoots with anyone? Just saying, like...
Go on.
I just think that there's going to be an element of someone going like, well, there's a camera there. They always see what happens at Chase U. And the tag champs, even if they are paying any attention, they're not. We'll get to that later on.
Yeah.
We'll think, well, whew, as long as we get rid of Riley Osborne, one would assume, then it's just, not that he would interfere anyway. But if Duke or Andre says, hey, if a hooded figure shows up to interfere...
Andre Chase won't. There's good law here.
Yeah.
He's gone through the mill with Chase U and he wants to do things the right way now. That's what this 2 years.
And they've also just put
been
in plain view that Duke and Ridge have separate conversations from everyone else. They did it in the middle of the classroom.
He does cheat to win. He does it for Duke, who gets him into the country via sneaking him in underneath Andre Chase's desk. Just puts him in. He goes in like the luggage hold.
Which is like a suitcase that's literally the shape of it. That looks familiar. I'm well into this tag match.
They could transport him in some white goods. Fridge Holland.
Smeg?
I'm not. I don't care.
Okay.
I would say if that happens, that'll be the hot point of the show.
No, nothing. Let's get to this face-to-face between Roxanne Perez and Lola Vice.
No. Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
There he is.
Lola's out. She says the clock's ticking for Roxy. Come out here. Your days are numbered.
Tick-tock.
And out comes Roxy, but she's got 2 security guards with her.
Carrying cry.
And Lola says, ooh, must have really shook you up. Roxy says, no, you brutally attacked me last week and stole my title. They're here to make sure it doesn't happen again. And Roxy says, you can drop the act. Stop trying to intimidate me. I can see right through you. Sunday's the most important match of your career. I've been watching you, and you've already built a bigger name for yourself here in 3 months than you did in your entire time in Bellator. You screwed me out of the whole cash in my title. But look at me now. And Lola says, yeah, fair play. You know, that you're the champion, no doubt. But in the ring of the cage, I'm a fighter. Roxy says, I saw your match at Battleground against Shayna and thought, fair play, I couldn't last 2 minutes in there with someone like Shayna Baszler. But we're not in Bellator. We're not in NXT Underground. This is a wrestling ring. This is my world. I'm the master of it. Styles makes fights, and I'm going to make you wrestle my style of match and meet you, basically. Lola talks about being a fighter before she was even born. Yes, Roxy is sacrificed to get where she was, but you haven't heard about my story. She gets very emotional during this. She talks about how her mother was pregnant when she had her black belt test thing. She grew up and fought, and then she was training for the Olympics, but her mum got sick, so she went into MMA so she could provide for her family, and she was fighting in MSG at 20 years of age. Her mum's going to be watching on Sunday, and she can't wait to call her and tell her that she's done it. She's done it for her, and she's the new NXT Women's Champion. Roxy's slightly taken aback by this because, Lola Vice gets very emotional here and says, I didn't realize all that. I hear you. I believe everything you're saying. I respect you, but every woman in that locker room wants to make that phone call. But when you step in the ring with me and I've put the title on the line, those calls never get made. Just ask Natalia. Ask Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace?
Jordan Grace.
Gordon Grace.
Gordon Grace. Jordan Grace. Lyra Valkyria. I'm building this legacy as a 2-time NXT Women's Champion. I'm not losing the title to you or anyone. And Lola says, well, you don't have to give me the title. I'm going to take it from you. You hit me with your best shot, and I smiled. I hit you, and you woke up without your title. I thought that was a nice line, actually. I'm one step closer to showing why I'm the greatest to ever come from MMA to WWE. I'll become the first Cuban-American NXT Women's Champion. And Roxy signals, and the security look like they're going to do something. But Lola Vice spinning back this one and stands there and says, yes, we might be in your world, but when I knock you out, you won't know what world you're in.
This was probably the worst time to do a weird thing, and as a result, it was bad, and I feel a little bit of guilt saying it was bad, but it was bad, right? Lola Vice has a story that one day it's wrestling, Like, if there's something to mine about your real life and there's a right place and the right time, absolutely go ahead and do it. This was not that time, not by far. The story,
hell of a gear change, wasn't it?
Massively so. Roxanne Perez was, it's probably like the second PLE in a row now where it felt like it was going to be Julia and the injuries got in the way of it, and yet they've come up with two pretty awesome matches to enhance this title reign. And what Roxanne Perez says is true about being like the best wrestler, and they are kayfabe backing it up with the big wins that she's amassing as champion. So all of a sudden, Lola Vice, somebody that's been kicking ass on the ascension up the card all this time, is now ready for a title shot, and we get to see if all of this ass kicking is going to be enough to topple this dominant champion. And there's the story. And they've even incorporated, they've used Roxanne Perez stealing the back fist to put the back fist over. That wasn't anywhere near as like powerful a kill shot 4 weeks ago, but instantly they've included that in the story, and it's worked. Right, she's took her down with it, and straight away you've got, well, there's a hot near fall in the match. If she gets that, she's got a good chance of winning the title. You're there. You are absolutely there with this. And then on the go-home episode of all weeks, they come out with this, right, which either forces Roxanne Perez to do one of two things. Completely, like, just on her, basically, and be this, like, heel that she isn't really, and say, well, I don't care. But just be totally cold towards it. And, like, all of a sudden, it's gone completely away from the wrestling stuff and the elbow strike and the like. Or do what she did here, which is tell like an interesting home truth about pro wrestlers that everybody has a story, which is kind of a babyface, sympathetic, I hear what you're saying, but I'm going to kick your ass. This character is in a feud every week with Ava. She hasn't got a surname. She's a Rock's daughter, where she's like, oh, stop putting me in matches. Like, that's not the same character as the one that was just like, yeah, I'm sympathetic for your story, but I've got one too, and I'm going to beat you. All wrong. All completely wrong. Like, not a great performance from Lola Vice, but I think she was buying into it. It didn't, maybe, like I say, a year's time, you probably know this character more.
Now there was a bit of a nervy promo from both of them prior to that as well.
They, at one point, completely
froze
and thought, oh, God, are we 2 pages ahead? Or if we skip 1 or 2 lines? Or...
They circled back at one point, didn't they?
Yeah, they were just completely and utterly lost.
And you know they're doing a line reads. That's not great, is it?
Yeah, no, I mean, it never is.
It's just...
But this was really poor. Like, that Lola Vice, like, people online going, oh, terrible acting. I thought it was excellent. I don't think she was acting at all. She just looked like she completely collapsed into tears.
I couldn't believe they were doing it now.
Yeah.
Why deploy this now?
Roxanne Perez, who otherwise is the absolute worst heel. Yeah. The worst heel in all of pro wrestling. I don't believe a single thing she says. She's completely miscast. It's, quite frankly, deranged.
Yeah, it is.
And they got completely lost, didn't know where they were. Like, if anything, if nothing else, Lola Vice displayed a human side to her. It wasn't, like, composed or anything, but my God, he gets so little genuine emotion out of this show that in a weird way, this is compelling and a complete disaster all at the same time.
It's just like...
Roxanne Perez stinks as a heel. It's pathetic that she gets made to do this character. It's so not her.
The Lola Vice thing, as much as it kind of shouldn't work, it absolutely does. She kicks your ass and she shakes hers. And, like, that's what got her, like, to the level she got to, then to the point where Shayna Baszler was like, stop it with the theatrics. Like, you're almost there, and I know what it is to be there, and I'm going to help you get there. And Lola Vice went, no, I think I can do all of this, actually, and then did.
Yeah.
Like, she's exactly where she needs to be, and then all of this. I found this so strange. Like,
it's very
sort of anti-promotion this was for the match.
Echoes of old WWE, where sometimes they just go, make it personal, and they go home.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, it's desperate, and it doesn't need to be, because like you say, the match itself has already been set up. Anyway, following that, we get the Ethan Page vignette.
Skip that.
And the...
I think he might win on Sunday, because...
chance. I
think he's in trouble and they're going to press a panic button.
It's not that much of an investment. He's not worth pressing the button over.
I think he's drowning, and I think
he's a solid hand.
I think they're going to have him pin Spears or something. I was watching this whole night. Sorry to jump ahead. And I was like,
they don't care that much about him where he needs saving to that level.
Maybe not.
He'll drop down and do North American stuff, and they don't care about Ethan Page that much. Just as well.
One thing I didn't used to care about, but now really do, is the No Quarter Catch crew.
Yes.
They're backstage. Miles is getting ready for his match. Damon Ken walks in and goes, got your brass knucks? And Charlie Dempsey's like, what are you doing with that? Don't use them. Dickhead. Out we go. More on this in a second, because first we've got to go to the club where Eddie Thorpe's DJing. And then after that...
Spin that
After that, we see him chatting to some ladies about it, and in comes Lexis King, who's like, "What's going on? What are we talking about? Music? Tell you what bands I like," and he lists off all the long-haired rock bands. Did he?
Randy Marsh is out back. I'm a little bit country. Well, I'm a little bit Lexis King.
What bands did he mention? I missed.
I can't remember.
Scorpions came up, which we were talking about in the office last week. So I was like,
give her inches. Hang on, what?
You know what one of their best songs is called?
Laying.
Dynamite. I wonder if Brian Pillman Jr. used to play that again, psyched up for not working it.
Didn't work.
Got him good.
This sets up a match between them.
It does, doesn't it? It's funny. You like EDM? Well, I like rock and roll. Which way's it gonna go?
Could do a bit where
is crap.
Eddie Thorpe comes out, starts thing playing, and then like they fight over there, and he like scratches it with Lexis King's head.
Yes,
eventually, like
that's brilliant.
He likes it.
I'm into it. Also, going back to
they can release it as a song.
Yes,
the Lexis King remix.
Yes.
No, it's all poor. This.
Just to go back to the No Quarter Catch crew.
Mm-hmm. We're about to get to them again.
Well, couldn't believe it because again, we maybe joke a little bit about the people at NXT have been sending to TNA. Charlie Dempsey got an opportunity to work at TNA.
Did he?
Charlie Dempsey himself. He was
all over the place, isn't he?
He is getting
here, there, and everywhere.
Just
all around the world.
Good for Charlie Dempsey. He's,
what are the chances? What are the chances, huh?
Son, you fit in there. You blend in like a chameleon. Speaking of which, meet Barry. That's something I don't know.
Dave's nickname for me, that. You get it, I'm a reptile. A snake.
They call us Jack and Vera. You Yanks wouldn't get it. It's a Corrie thing. Now those are workers. 5 nights a week, rain or shine. Twice on Sundays. It's an omnibus.
It's like, Corrie. My beloved Corrie.
You have taken a bump on the cobbles. Then come back to me. John Moxley doing flatbacks on the Corrie tour. Regal told me to. People just wanted to get the picture taken outside the Rovers as Moxley busting himself open on Jack and Vera's house. Is this Blackpool? Am I in Blackpool yet?
Give me Betty's hot pot.
Just throws it on his face. Where the is Fred Elliott? John Moxley on Coronation Street.
Regal told me don't get your knickers in a twist. That's what they make in that place over there.
I don't know anything about Corrie. Join in, man.
Oh, God.
You know, I used to work over there. People, I was a caged animal, and people were saying like, "Free John Moxley," and I'm like, "Hey, free Didri Rashid." That's what I'm saying.
I remember that hash. Yeah,
that was the thing, wasn't it?
Didri's kind of like me when I left WWE. We both escaped from prison.
So we get Oro Mensa versus Miles Bourne, the man with the best drop kick in all of wrestling, by the looks of things.
Apparently so.
That was great.
That was spectacular. Yeah, Oro Mensa dominated early on. Bourne sent him into the ropes, throat first, hit a neck breaker to take us to a break. Mensa fights back after that, though, hits a moonsault, T-bone suplex, kick. But yeah, Bourne comes back with that amazing drop kick of his, at which point David Kell goes, hey, brass knucks. And then he goes, what? No. Turns around. Mensa kicks him and wins.
It's one of my least favorite things in wrestling now. The people on the outside trying to, impart advice or help are being useless. It's like, gee, that's so stupid.
You might have missed something as well, Sidge. When they had the No Quarter Catch crew in the ring, because obviously now I've got Tavian Heights in there, it was like Tavian Heights, Miles Bourne is obviously in action, Charlie Dempsey, and then very subtly, 5 yards behind them, Damon Kemp looking over his shoulder like, something's going to happen there.
That wasn't right there, is it?
So just keep your eyes on that.
Yeah, will do.
Okay. No, like Brass Knucks lore as well. Like real Regal family truthers will just be salivating for the moment. Dad's going to come down and have a word.
We get a vignette for Wes Lee talking about
Blackpool Coronation Club. Sorry.
Blackpool Coronation Chicken. I'm trying to think of another BCC.
What?
That's what Jericho would call them as JS stuff. You're just Blackpool Coronation Chickens. That's what I say, huh? Wildfowl. The chicken.
What do you think, Jake? Oh, no. He's not here to yuck it up. Oh, well. We get a vignette of Wes Lee.
John Moxley working the egg.
Get a vignette of Wes Lee. Horrible flashback to when he was like, it sounds weird to say this, but obviously when wrestlers are often just in like t-shirt or whatever, really fully clothed and with his crutches being like, that's it for me, I think. Now obviously.
Mandela effect, probably. I remember like him coming out thinking, are you retiring forever?
Yes.
That was really sad, wasn't it, when he... When Wes Lee had that injury break.
Christ.
And nobody knew
absolutely distraught.
Nobody knew out, and all of a sudden he's on and he's like weeping on camera. You're like, are you done, mate? This is awful.
And now here he is.
Yeah.
Again, very subtly, you might have seen in the background, a giant shadow of Obafemi coming in as he was talking about and Oba just is awesome.
Surprised he didn't refer to that as cinema.
Pretty close. Pretty damn bloody close. Talks about being a ruler destroyer, a mountain that can't be climbed. Wes is great, but he's going to crush his dreams. I'm well excited for this match at the weekend.
I cannot wait for this, and I genuinely can't call it. It's one of the things I'm most excited about this weekend.
I have to watch it, don't I?
Yes, we'll be a bit delayed. You don't have to watch it necessarily on Sunday night, Monday morning, because we'll be doing it the day after, because Monday will be
I don't have to watch fucking Raw, don't I?
I love that. But Sid,
how will you Monday night?
Oh, that's my life.
It's like NXT. How will you avoid the spoilers?
I don't want to spend it watching the heat wave.
It's my life.
It's my life.
Dr. All that.
If you love The Office so much, why don't you come to work for once?
I wish, mate. Yes. Kid stuff next week. Last week, primary stuff on.
Where are we? Oh,
Stuff on.
bad news for you, Sige.
Yeah, it's all bad news when I'm reviewing NXT.
No match for Gallus this week, despite it being previously advertised, because they just got into a massive brawl again with Tyson DuPont and Tariq Igwe.
I forgot it was previewed. I might have gone a bit too hard on the old fast forward button, and then wherever it ends up, it's like, well, I'm not rewinding, make sure that I missed anything. It's basically, I usually go about like 3 or 4 minutes, because if you watch it on the network in Europe, not on USA Network, you get the exact same
breaks in play.
And like the exact, they just repeat the same. Like, here's to watch on the network or whatever. So I should probably time it exactly, but I can't be asked to do that. That would require more work. So let's go about 4 minutes. Well, that's where it ended up. So I'm just going to stay there here.
That's Sige's one, and my one for that is Moxley versus Naito, where I just fell asleep, woke back up, and went, I guess I've not missed out, have I? Trash this. Jesus.
I like this Gallus thing, because it's when a bait and switch is good. They haven't delivered it. Yes.
It's the opposite of when they get into the fireworks factory. Yes, they didn't go to the fireworks factory. Brinley Reece, normally so happy-go-lucky, walking backstage. No cartwheel this time, though. And she even says to the boys, look, if you don't want to be around me anymore, say so. They're good lads. They'll stick around. And then suddenly the camera gets grabbed by Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows and go, hey, OTM, see you next week.
Yep. Good brothers are still here. Got a free flight to Glasgow, but they're still here.
Glasgow.
I know this has been a bit of a terrifying episode of NXT for usage, but I'm just going to do the one thing as I look at you here, and I hope it doesn't really give you the creeps. Because it's time for Wendy Choo's
Oh, God.
This is Carlee Bright.
No.
Scared the life out of me. This did.
Shut.
She got some kicks in, did Carlee, but Choo cut her off, hit a rolling downward spiral, got her in a tree of woe, running drop kick. Carlee fought back with a back elbow, hit a Rana, and handspring kick in the corner, went for a moonsault, but Wendy got the knees up, and short arm lariat, sleeper, body scissors, submission victory.
This Wendy Choo character is like
so rubbish.
How has it even happened? It's like if Mean Mark worked in WWE and then just rocked up at the Survivor Series as The Undertaker. So let's just change companies. Same brand, same colleagues, same friends, same name, same entrance, same everything. Derek.
Why?
It's not been explained, has it?
Not at all.
Not at all. They could have done a cute, she woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and that's how she's turned heel. That would have been quite cute and vaguely amusing.
And you could
why is she
alternate
a
it.
goth?
You could alternate it.
Yeah.
Just like Wendy Choo's in action. I don't know which version we're going to get.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool, but why does that have to be spooky? I've already said this.
Yeah.
Chelsea Green hot mess character.
Yeah.
I insist on saying it again. If you can say the same stuff all over the time, all the time, I can do it as well. Right.
Yes.
They have already tried spooky with Wendy Choo.
Yeah.
I mean, does she like,
Spook stuff.
does she like it? And they go, oh, let her have it.
Sidge, where would the books that she studies to learn the character work, where would you take them from?
From a spook case.
Good stuff.
We needed to get that one to YouTube.
Right. Here's the thing. They've already tried it and it was a dismal failure.
Yeah.
So much so that this is like a 180, right? To get to the Wendy Choo gimmick. And I was like, do spooky stuff? Like, why? It never works, so why do they keep doing it? You know what really pissed me off about this? First of all, is it spooky or supernatural? I think it's meant to just be a little bit, unnerving.
What's happened to her?
Wendy Choo gives me the creeps. Like, at the start of the match, who did she wrestle again? I don't care.
Carlee
Carlee
Bright.
Carlee Bright, one of the gymnasts, just went forearm to the face, and she like eats them, and it's like, are you impervious to pain? You know, like, are you like the Undertaker or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, that's the gimmick of like,
They're gonna make up the
can't feel pain, me. All right, we'll win every title all the time, and then go to the pay window so you can enjoy the money you get from this. Like, what? None of this makes sense ever, and I hate it. But she is kind of doing the whole like forearm. Impervious to pain. It's like, all right, okay, we'll win every title right now. You can't. Well, why not? But you're invincible. You're invincible and you're impervious to pain. So why can't you just simply win all the titles and be, supernatural Bob Holly for the rest of your miserable existence? And guess what as well? You're not really pissed me off about this. You're not really... I watched this morning. I hate having to do this. I hate it so much. She comes out where she tilts her head, just the ultimate hack way of saying, you're not on the level. You're a little bit sideways. Your mind is a little bit askew. It's the most hack crap I've ever seen in my life, right?
Symbolism.
Shut up, man. I know. And she makes a way down that little ramp in that little building, and then she goes into the ring. And it's like, you know how like you're a little bit not right, askew, off balance, right? And you don't really like sort of nothing registers with you in the same. Let's do that to the hard camera so everyone can see. Sure thing, boss. Down the hard camera, it's like, why are you doing that stilted thing down the hard camera? You're meant to be not normal.
Yeah.
So why are you just doing regulation hard camera entrances? This absolutely stinks on every conceivable level. Why would you do that to the hard camera if you were like a bit crazy or a bit spooky?
I think
Why? It's not a rhetorical question. I'm asking you why.
I got an answer for you. Because she's been told to by her boss, Shawn Michaels, who got the idea from Triple H. What are we missing here? How often has he tried since 2022 to just bring stuff back that nobody liked? Like the tail end of the NXT run. Ladies and gentlemen, DIY, no pap. Well, you're having them anyway. I liked them. Carrying Cross for the 5th time. I mean, 6 times worked the charm. But like prior to that, you remember when he took out Drew and it was like, what are you looking at Roman Reigns for? Get out of here. Like, Sean's been on the phone. It's like, I'm going to need something else for Wendy Choo. Kind of like explored this sleeping thing. Triple H has gone. A lot left in the tank with this one idea. Like,
Tansha.
give it 6 weeks and then we'll get the big chair back. It's all...
Just the fact that she does it down the hard camera. I hate it so goddamn much.
We get Trick's vignette.
Hate it.
Ahead of
I just don't like seeing an awesome gimmick get sacrificed.
Shut up, man.
like
It's
this.
my least favourite act in all of wrestling is Spooky Wendy
The original
Choo.
Wendy Choo was class.
It was good fun.
Like the sleeping stuff.
Sleeping elbow.
Yeah.
I
Lights out, man.
This is my least favourite gimmick in all of pro wrestling. And I consider, I think, do I like it? Do I like Matt Hardy more than her? No.
What
Nothing's that bad.
Okay.
Sitch, what does Wendy Choo leave on when she goes to sleep? Remember from yesterday? Her fright light.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yeah.
She could like have. There could be two Wendy Choos.
I don't care about this.
Two Wendy Choos. She only thinks there's like a different person, but it's not the same person. Reveal twist, the same person. Fright Club.
Ah, and that's cinema.
And it turns out Shawn Spears is with her. Tyler Durden. and that's cinema too.
No, it's awful. It's all of this. It's awful. Is that when you doesn't matter.
No, please continue.
My least favorite gimmick in all pro wrestling. It's pathetic. I can't imagine what it would be like to live inside the mind of someone who likes this.
Trick talks the NXT Championship match.
Can you imagine being one of those people?
Yeah, most weeks I am. It's an off week. Yeah.
I think you're mentally ill.
I enjoy this a lot of the time.
I know because you're mentally ill.
Yeah.
It's about to get very good next week.
I am as well. I'm not casting aspersions. Just in a cooler way with better taste.
That's cool. I make mentally ill cool.
It's going to get good next week again, though. We've got NXT Weird Fallout.
So you agree?
No, I'm just saying if you didn't like it, don't worry. It's back on track next week because NXT Weird Fallout and Brooks Jensen. Because HBK appears.
So dumb.
We see all the anarchy in the arena he's been causing. And
the music on this video package was like, oh,
sinister. Yeah. This is stuff on social media and being arrested and what have you. Shawn clarifies, though, he's not been released from his contract. They asked him to take a sabbatical when he began to spiral.
Oh, this really pissed me off, actually.
But he's part of the NXT family, and Shawn Michaels believes in second chances.
All right, what about Von Wagner then?
Yeah.
Both of you two are on a cult, a QAnon adjacent cult.
We're going to have to get away from liking the Fed being about pedophilia. We got to separate those things.
Not really. This family. Stop saying it's a family.
I don't like
Why do you do this?
Because if they are a family, they're bloody starving. It's not. They're not getting fed, are they? And I'm well fed, like multiple times a week. So
right, okay,
they're not a family.
I'm not being funny. Like, why do they say that's in our family? What about Von Wagner? What did he ever do?
Yeah, he's got a family. We saw them.
Excommunicated. That's what they should say in their releases. He's been excommunicated from the WWE family.
This was the second best Shawn Michaels promo I've seen this week because the best was linked to us by the wonderful Frazer Cranium on Twitter, and I recommend you go and check it out yourself. Because he was treating himself to the, after we discussed it, as we often do.
Oh, yeah.
He treated himself to the Hell in a Cell match between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker and watched all the preamble and stuff. And Shawn cuts a promo. It's 1997, Shawn. You watch every goddamn second and you wonder what the hell is going on in there. Because even he doesn't know, man. It's captivating. He's a captivating man in 97. And then... Shawn was trying very hard to get Triple H over. All of them were trying really hard to get Triple H over. It wasn't working, but everyone was trying. So over the mic goes to Triple H. Cut. Hardcore back to the ring.
Cut. Thought he was going to say the coolest thing in the world, didn't he?
It was brilliant.
Get it. Out of the way, yo. Like the literal embodiment of out of the way, you. Sure. Crap, all you have to say.
Shawn, if you go out there and kill yourself for a 5-star match, then I'll carry you to the back, and maybe people think it's that way around rather than the complete other.
Yes.
Spoiler, they didn't for 2 years.
Brooke Jensen's been invited to have a sit-down with Ava. She hasn't got the surname. She's Rock's daughter and general manager of NXT. It's next week.
Can't wait. I'm up for that.
Carmen Petrovic versus Jasmine Nix next.
Near the end.
Jasmine,
I can't remember a single goddamn thing about this match, and I never will.
Jasmine Nix has dashing JC Jane in a corner. Petrovic did well early on. Running basement blockbuster got 2. Jasmine takes over after a distraction from JC Jane. Nix hits a Shining Wizard to get 2. Petrovic got a roll-up that I'll swear was a 3, but ref only counted 2. Anyway, she's setting up for a big finish, but JC interferes again, and that distracts long enough for Jasmine Nix to hit a Pele kick and get the 1-2-3. I'll mention this here. After that, she's going to say Rockstar, general manager of NXT, is backstage. Karma's like, I want to fight both of them. I don't care if I don't have anyone. And she's like, don't worry, your friends talk to me. You got a tag match on the Countdown show. Is it Natalia? No. It's Ariana Grace.
Well, so Ariana Grace, maybe a babyface turn incoming here.
What do you mean babyface turn?
Excuse me, yeah. Fallon Henley, if you recall, Fallon Henley. Yeah.
That's what she did.
JC Jane kind of...
That means she was approving of what she was seeing.
Yeah. Setting themselves up as the kind of like the nasty boys of NXT. Fallon and JC.
That's right.
You got it, Stags.
Yeah.
Let's take over Shawn's show. Let's make a little pit stop in NXT.
A pit stop. And I won't wash neither.
It's worse backstage. I do it with my ass. And he probably did.
Yeah.
Grossest guys.
Oh, God. Go to tag team. I love it. I absolutely love the Nasty Boys.
I like the Nasty Boys a great deal, but nobody cut this man any deeper than in the early 2010s when he started doing it, and it was a nice tribute, in theory, to Randy Savage when Punk started doing the elbow and somebody compared it to, called it a Jerry Sags-esque elbow. Treat yourself online to a Jerry Sags elbow to check the comparison. Could never do it. Didn't stop though, did he?
Nah, never stopped.
Kind of love that about him.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to
get the job done.
You're going to make that good, Punk? No.
So we go backstage in amongst all this.
Sucks, doesn't he?
He's maybe the best of all time. When I stop and think about it.
Yeah.
Like, nothing he does in execution is a 10. So everything becomes an 11. Like, it's because he just keeps doing it. Like, it makes you want to watch him do it again. Cracked so many codes.
It's an enigma.
He is, and he is. He's an enigma.
Oh, God.
But can he crack the ultimate code at WrestleMania 41? Cody Rhodes. And that's 42. We've got The Rock. Oh, we've got so many matches in this company. Jesus Christ. I'm not starving. I'm eating good.
So, speaking of lots of...
I'm all right now.
I'm all right.
Brutal.
Speaking of lots
Is it the main event yet?
Not yet. Speaking of lots of matches, Nathan Frazer,
when I'm cleaning windows,
is backstage. He's chatting with Axiom. No! They're talking strategy. He's like, oh, that sounds good for the tag title match we've got on Sunday. And he's like, no. I've got my WWE speed match I'm talking about. My Xavier Woods, the final. I may have accidentally revealed the result of yesterday because I forgot the tape.
Oh, no, speed got ruined.
You know how else you spoil speed? Swipe past it on Twitter.
But Axiom tells Frazer he's unfocused. But Frazer said he will be focused when the time comes.
I mean, he's not wrong, is he, Axiom? This is sort of heartbreaking considering you can't even see the guy's face. I don't think you're fully focused. Well, was that not made clear when I ignored everything you just said? Sad that this is coming at the end, but Chase U winning the titles is a positive to come from the negative.
Yeah, I guess.
Sol Ruka talks about the Women's North American title match. She said, look, Kalani was the better woman at Battleground, but I was too busy snatching souls, etc. I'm bringing the heat to Toronto and leaving as Women's North American champion.
Sounds like something the Undertaker.
Whatever, look at it or whatever.
Like he's practicing on the beach again. Sorry, snatching holes and snatching souls and digging holes with my bucket and speed.
I know we're nearly finished, but I've just got a Crystal Club update on my phone.
What's that?
I love the Crystal Club.
What is it?
I'm always talking about it. It's the one really close to Wembley that's got the
Sweet Shin Disco.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm going to check this out, actually. I'm going to just give me a quick call. I'll be back in a second.
No, it's why you can do it after the podcast.
I know, but I don't want to miss out. If they've got tickets available on it, you have to get on it. You know, if any events are going down at like Crystal Club in the coming months, keep an eye out for them. That's what I'd say. So I'm going to quickly go and give them a call. And you talk all about your predictions for the entire card of NXT Heatwave. See you later.
He's not wrong about that. Actually, I wouldn't mind going to the Crystal Club either side of All In. It's probably a fantastic time.
Yeah, no, I reckon so. Yeah, probably.
How do you think Sol Ruka versus Kalani Jordan's going to go Heatwave?
I think they're going to wrestle at the exact same tempo as literally every single NXT match I've ever seen in my life. There'll be a finish about which I don't care.
She's not going to hit the Soul Snatcher, is she? Because nobody kicks out of that. And then what?
We could roll out the ring or whatever. I really don't care.
could, yes.
I don't care. Let's just end the clip.
Hey,
Stacks, I like you. I like you.
Looking for the heat wave, huh?
No, not really. It's because you're not on the show or something.
Ah, thanks so much. Hey, and don't forget, Happy National Fried Clam Day. How you celebrating, guys?
No.
I'm not a big clam.
Gotta be
fan.
munching a few clams tonight. Gotta be saying that.
You don't have to be saying it.
What is that?
You
What
don't
is
have to be saying
Since
it.
what is the deal with clams?
It's a bivalve mollusk. That's what it is.
You know what the female version of rock out with your cock out is?
Jam out with your clam out.
Yeah, I got a button for it. Bingo! Three jokes, 3 questions for you.
Low hanging fruit week, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's National Clam Day. Come on.
What did he say?
National Clam Day. You gotta.
You don't gotta.
National Fried Clam, actually, to be specific. Gonna do Independence Day, so I don't want to get too controversial. So remember to go out and vote tomorrow, guys. If you're watching in the UK. Izzy,
Thanks, Stacks. I appreciate that.
Question. 3 questions, 3 jokes for you. First one for you. What do you call a shellfish action movie store?
Right, okay. So, like, there's prawns and lobsters. They're both shellfish, yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Because he didn't say, we know they're going to be about clams, but he didn't use the word in the setup.
Yeah. Oh, it's either Arnold Prawn Schneck. Arnold Prawn Schneck. No. That was my confirming. We're still conferring. So you're the main ones.
Brian, you do your goddamn work.
I'm just trying to get it right, okay? And that's a lot of trial and error. Sometimes it's always great, okay? That's process. Sylvester Stallone, anything in that?
I'm trying to think of this shellfish.
Like, I think it's yours. Like, I think it is yours.
Steven Seagull. Not a shellfish.
No, it's a bird. It's just a bird.
Just a bird.
It's just a bird, a different species, if anything.
Bird. Should we go with that one? Yeah.
Yeah, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
Hey, we're off.
Hey man, there's a story about the Ryback and what if
Yeah.
Arnold Cronenberg filmed it. You're not going to believe.
And question joke number 2. Why was the clam limping on Monday morning?
Right, what happened on Sunday, Sitch?
Monday morning seems specific.
What happened to a clam on Sunday?
Right, it is a mollusk. You're laughing at that.
That's a funny word, and your delivery of it is just excellent.
Good, thank you. So why did the
Sorry, what was it?
Why was the clam limping on Monday morning?
Right, you get, is it a school of fish? Could it have been injured at Sunday
It's a mollusk.
school? All right. School of mollusks. I don't know. I was thinking injured at Sunday school. I can't think of a Sunday thing, but the Monday has to. Do you know what I mean?
Monday weekend.
Has it got a weekend?
Weekend.
What's the makeup of a clam?
It's
a little
just
shell thing,
It's a
isn't it?
little shell.
How does a mollusk hide
has it
from
got pearl
predators?
You what?
Has it got pearl inside? Is that something else? Oyster.
It's very slimy.
How does a mollusk hide from predators? Camouflage. So, a little mollusk joke for you there as well.
I know a few other animals that are to camouflage. Or at very
Something
least
about
hide in plain
the
sight.
weekend is in the punchline, I think. I've got any idea. Nah,
yeah.
what a shame.
Can't take a guess.
Why was the clam limping on Monday morning? Because he went clubbing at the weekend and pulled a muscle. Pulled a muscle!
Good.
Final question, final joke for you. Gigi, why was the ejaculating clam so nervous, huh? Picture that.
Yeah.
I was the ejaculating clam so nervous. It never works. He was already ejaculating.
Yeah, that's it. It's already vulgar in this. It's vulgar in the setup.
No, I'm
isn't
saying it's like you'd be nervous about the thought of ejaculating because, again,
it? But it's an ejaculating
I
clam.
think it's not really a big deal. I've heard.
Not for that.
Anything
Clam chowder. What else does clam?
chowed her. That could be a punchline to another
Go. Write that down, Stacks.
Why did the jellyfish like the clam? Because the clam chowed down. I had a munch. I don't know. I really don't know about anything anymore. I really don't. No.
And a munch, he says, why was the ejaculating clam so nervous? You were close, Izzy. Because he was scared of coming out of his shell. See you later, guys.
Bye, Stat.
He's not left. I haven't heard the door shut. Oh, God. It's taking him ages to leave, guys.
Bye, Stacks.
Bye, Stacks.
Oh, what's going on? What's this?
It's too long story.
Stacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had clam jokes this week, and it took us off.
Because it's National Fried Clam Day today, isn't it? Of course, everyone knows that.
Right, yeah. What are you doing to celebrate?
Just munching on a mollusk, you know me. Main event time.
Yeah.
You took a shortcut with alliteration there. You thought, well, I need out with this one. 2 M's.
The contract signing for the Fatal 4-Way, the NXT Championship match at NXT Heatwave. Ethan Page, Shawn Spears, Javon Evans, already out there. Here comes Trick, who gets the mic and says, guys, there's a Heatwave coming to Toronto. Yes, you're all hungry. Oh, bloody hell, they're doing it again. But in Toronto...
Morg is bored of cliche in this segment.
In Toronto, Evans going to be chanting one thing. Whoop that, Trick. Ethan says, that's why I love you, Trick. Singles match, 4-way, you'll bring the same energy. You fight with your emotions. You're the champion. Probably the hottest thing in WWE. I saw that swagger at Battleground. And I would have won that match, but Trick says, well, yeah, but you didn't. You talk about the swagger there, Ethan. I'm going to bring it on Sunday. But Ethan says, well, this isn't the same thing as Vegas. I don't have to beat you to win that. He explains he can pin someone else to win the title. He can. He doesn't have to. And the odds in this match aren't in Trick Williams' favour because obviously normally it's 50-50. 4 people drops down to 25% and there's no champion's advantage, if you're unaware. Trick says, thankfully, he knows the stakes. He's backed against the wall, but he comes through every time. Yes, he's got the least experience of an NXT champion, but he wears it well, puts in the work. Ethan talks about his resume and accolades. Resume
out the ass.
He's going to win. And Shawn says, Trick, you're full of emotion, and I love it. Keep doing that, because that's going to bring me the NXT championship. And I thought, how? But thankfully, he explained by saying that emotion got me the win last week. I think you'll find it was Brooks Jensen twatting Trick Williams with the cover from the table, but still.
Was it? Yeah. He's absolutely smashing the head with a big bit of wood. I think you'll find it was mind games.
His hand's going to be raised again on Sunday. He sees a champion who wears his heart on his sleeve. And a guy, he goes through the people, and a guy who's hell-bent on feeding
Very
his ego.
tender.
And
the link was somewhat tenuous.
A 22-year-old kid who's just happy to be here. And Javon's like, oh, joke's old.
Almost as old as you, Shawn. What are you, 50?
What are you, 22? That's like 10 plus 10. And another 2.
1/5 of 10.
What are you, 50?
Shawn says Javon reminds me of that team that makes it to the finals but got no shot. Evan says everyone uses his age against him like he's some kind of punk. Yes, he's nervous, but he's also excited. When he walks into Heatwave, everyone's going to know he's going to get bouncy, basically. He pulls a bit of a Kenny Omega, saying, Shawn, how much experience do you have holding the NXT Championship? I haven't yet, but hopefully we'll do one day.
What?
He'll walk into Heatwave, leave NXT Champion, show Shawn what he's all about. And Shawn says, whoa, hear this, Trick? He's going to take your title. What do you think about it? And Paige is like, yeah, he heard it, but I don't think he likes it. And they say, me and Shawn have both beaten Javon Evans, but can you? I don't like your odds too much. He says, look, yeah, I don't like you, Ethan Page, Trick Williams, this is. Evans has been making noise. He's bouncy. He likes him.
You don't have to do all this, do you?
But no one's going to take his title.
They didn't either. This sucked.
Spears says if Evans pins Ego, he'll win the title. I've got it. Yep. You pin someone, you win the title. It all devolves into insults, basically. Breaks down. Spears attacks Evans. Page attacks Trick. But in all the chaos of the contract signing, there we go, got my title for the pod. Williams puts Page through a table. Evans puts Spears through a table. And then Trick Williams and Javon Evans face off with the title to close out this show.
Hideous.
Hideous, absolutely hideous. I didn't know that you didn't have to pin the champion. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much longer I can keep watching these WWE programs. I'm serious. And have this information relayed to me like it's the first time. It's like I feel so stupid and old. Like, what am I watching this rubbish for? Like, what?
This was so bad. Maybe that's why I've convinced myself.
I know, like, the whole they're stupid. Like, they think you're thick to begin with. You need reminding. And also, hey, could be anybody else's first show. You never know, man. So that's why I just let the commentator just tell you once, and that's it.
Shawn Spears thinking he's playing mind games with Trick Williams about the contract Trick Williams signed. Don't think you read the small print. Anyone can pin anyone. Yeah, I did. I read the small print. Oh, my mind game has failed. Let's try and put him through the table.
I've put it in size 10 font.
I've seen WWE television. Yeah, happens quite often. This.
Maybe I was watching this and I was so.
Like they've been doing triple threats for 2 triple threats per show in Money in the Bank season.
Yeah. I was just so staggered that
pin
they could,
anyone.
Strip Trick Williams.
It's not elimination.
That's why I think you might lose. Because I was watching this going, you're just ordinary now. It's the first time I've seen a Trick Williams.
You've been worked by a WWE explanation of how a fatal 4-way match works.
Trick doesn't have to be pinned.
They've made the hottest act on the show freezing cold. This was piss poor.
It was poor, but you've been worked by. Yeah. I'll show me Austin Fenix window.
If Trick loses the title.
Big weekend.
No, that he retains it. Do you want to bet?
Hang on, you'll show your Austin Fenix window if Trick Williams retains the title.
No, if he loses it. Sorry, yeah. Do you want to do a bet?
Pasty bet on it. Maybe, yeah. I like this. I never win them, but yeah. I won one. I won the only one that mattered. I finished the story like Cody did. But yeah. Yeah, go on then.
We'll shake after the podcast, yeah.
Trick loses, but to anyone.
What? Yeah.
We don't have to pin Trick. Don't forget they don't have to pin Trick.
This feels quite... I get what Shawn Spears feels like. It's like I've lured you into my trap of probably losing.
Not 10 pasties, just to clarify.
Shut up, man.
Well, on that cliffhanger, we'll leave it there. Let us know your thoughts on NXT in the comment section below or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch, they can follow all three of us. You can follow Michael Hamflet at
Michael Hamflet.
Follow Michael Sidgwick at
M. Sidgwick.
Follow me at Adam Wilmore. Follow us all
I'm never gonna tweet
at
about
WhatCulture WWE. Follow our brilliant producer at It's Adam Nicholas. And make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. But for now, this has been the NXT review. Enjoy Heatwave. My thanks to Hamflet,
It was really bad, wasn't it?
To Stacks. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
It was a bad Wilborn.
No, it's great.